First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title today lesson is Nuclear Armageddon. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a news article here by the New York Post, and it reads, President Trump warns monster nukes could end the world tomorrow. President Trump has warned that monster nuclear weapons are the biggest threat to humanity and could easily end the world tomorrow. The commander-in-chief gave the grim warning as he lamented the dangers of stockpiling nukes amid his push to kickstart arms control talks with Russia and China again. The greatest threat is sitting on shelves in various countries called nuclear weapons that are big monsters that could blow your heads off for miles and miles and miles, Trump told Fox News Sunday morning features. So we're seeing right here that since this man been in office, now we constantly seeing all sorts of rumors of wars more than ever before. You know, this man right here now is saying that it's talking about he warns a monster nukes could end the world tomorrow. It could end his world. You know what I'm saying? Which in fact, made me think about 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. Esau is the end of this world, this age right now, this eon right now. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So it will be the end of his world as he know it, the end of the Gentiles, rulership. So right now, the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. So right now, that's why I named the day's lesson Nuclear Armageddon, because, Armageddon, it's coincide with the last and final war right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So this man right now is saying that this could happen at any time. So we already knowing about what's going on in the White House. We're already knowing they're going back and forth. This Elon Musk saying that he's losing all sorts of money. Also, they saying that they're preparing for war. And also, he already made threats with Iran, trying to come to some type of peace agreement. But when they say peace and safety, then we know that total destruction will come upon them. So we know that those destroying winds are getting ready to come upon America like they have never seen before. This thermonuclear a war is coming. You know what I'm saying? This, amen, the ending nation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So this man talking about monster nukes. And one thing about it, we already know about they have the biggest nukes that they have. We'll look it up in a minute. It's the B-83, and one thing about it is we'll get it in a minute. We'll look it up. So this man right now is talking about things going to go nuclear. So what the hell is going on? And also he's saying about a recession, talking about a stock market crash. The mental Lord been telling you these things over and over. The Lord said, warn them for me. Warn you of a war, warn you of evil time, warn you of pestilence, all sorts of events that occur right before our eyes. And one thing about it, and we seeing that these prophecies are not prolonging anymore, even though that we're sounding like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. Also, we knowing about what the Passover is fast approaching, what this blood moon. So man, things can get, very, very, what I'm saying? It's right here, so we're measuring the time diligently. We seeing right now that any given day, all hell could break loose. So now let's get this, look up this I might read a little bit more of this. This man said here, once again, let's read this part right here again. This here, the man said, the greatest threat is sitting on shelves in various countries called nuclear weapons that are big monsters that can blow your heads off for miles and miles and miles. Trump told Fox News Sunday morning features. So we see it right here that, this man is already talking about, hey, these nuclear weapons could destroy the whole world. So what is this man is saying? So a lot of people right now still, are constantly going on with their daily life, going to work, planning anniversary, planning, of their birthdays or whatever it may be, the house of mirth, and one thing about it, we already know that, it's, right now it's a time of what? A war. You know what I'm saying? Right now, a lot of people right now are still relaxing in their leaves. You're still constantly, just, not aware of what's happening around the world. And these things can pop off at any given time, just like that movie with Black Swan, man. He looked up, and, he came out of his house. Next thing you know, he had China troops everywhere, shooting up everything, blowing up everything. The sky was filled with all sorts of military aircraft. These things right here, they constantly putting it right in your face. So any given day, these things can happen upon us. That's why we got to be examine ourselves. We always got to be watching, praying, pray without ceasing, because we coming upon this time. The Lord already said these things must first come to pass, then the end shall come. So we right there at the beginning of sorrow. Let me see if I can read a little bit more of this. But what we'll do now is talking about this B83. I don't think I'm gonna read any more of this article, but this man talking about this big monster, and we already knowing that these are these IBCM missiles. Once again, let's read this title. Once again, it's very disturbing. It says here, President Trump warns monster nukes could end the world tomorrow. Could end his reign of terror. And that's what we're banking on. DTA or Barbara Ball. You ready for this place to be totally destroyed? But we already know that this place, through much violence, gonna have to be destroyed. And what the Lord is gonna usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So now let's get this in about this B83. This is the biggest thermonuclear bomb that they have. It says here it's a B83 nuclear bomb. It said the B83 is a variable yield thermonuclear gravity bomb developed by the United States in the late 70s. Said that entered service in 1983 with a maximum yield of 12 megatons of TNT. Said it has been the most powerful nuclear weapon in the United States nuclear arsenal since October 25th, 2011, after retirement of the B-53. So this is the biggest bomb that America has, but we already know the largest nuclear weapon in the world is the SAR by Russia. You know what I'm saying? Well, man, these things are picking up. He said, what is the largest nuclear bomb today? And it says here, the B-83 is the most powerful nuclear bomb in the United States arsenal with a maximum yield. It's pretty much saying the same thing. And it says that this makes it 60 times more powerful than the bomb dropped in Nagasaki in 1945. So this, that right there coincide with Isaiah chapter 14. So man, these things are popping, man. Our great deliverance can be at the door. So that's all I want to get at that. But we know the largest the largest bomb, the most powerful bomb, is the SAR. I thought I could look that up, but they were saying that it was America, but that's the biggest one in America. But we already know that Russia has that SAR, and they have a Satan too. And man, I'm telling you, man, these things are popping left and right. So now let's get a quick precept. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. We're seeing it right now in the World War III is constantly lining up just like clockwork. Rumors of wars are all over the place. When they say peace and safety, then what? Once again, total destruction will come upon it. It says here, Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14 said, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. So we're knowing about the second woe, you know what I'm saying? Woe go into destruction, talking about what? World War II, it already has passed, we already know about what happened with that war. And also the third woe come quickly. So we're seeing it fast approaching. This third woe, which in fact is World War III, the wars to end all war, is what? Fast approaching right before our eyes. And this man is already talking about, this monster nuclear weapon. You know what I'm saying? These weapons can blow your head off. Which in fact, it would disintegrate everything around. I think it said this missile, I think is a 200-mile radius. Everything within that radius will be totally destroyed. So we already know that, the Lord is getting ready to send that destroying wind. So let's get that right quick. Let's go here to Jeremiah before we start today's video. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit, just something I'm seeing through the Spirit. A little tired tonight, but I'm going to work through it. It says here, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 1, it said, "Thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind." And that about it's talking about what these IBCM missiles, this thermonuclear weapon, this thermonuclear bomb that is getting ready to be, getting ready to be shot throughout the entire world. So we already know that that America is going to be totally destroyed by this thermonuclear fire and also that laser and chariot fire. So the Lord said He's against Babylon, which in fact is AKA America. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst, and the Lord said He's going to rise up against me a destroying wind. Let's read this once again. It says in Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 1 that thus said the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Those IBCM missiles, they'll get ready to fly. And one thing about it is that, we knowing that right now things are on the edge. We're seeing that right now World War III is imminent. These nations are rising against nations. Rumors of wars all over the place. Volcanic activity. Just the other day. I can't think of it. It's in South America somewhere. And also earthquake was right there in California a couple of days ago. So these things are constantly happening left and right, one event behind another. So the Lord is getting ready to send that destroying wind. So let's go here. Let's get this one right quick. Let's go here to let's see. Let's go to the blue letter. Let's go here to Isaiah. Let's get this one right quick. In Isaiah, then we'll start today's video. Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. And it reads that, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So one thing about it, so, that you were talking about, he said, behold, I have created the smith. And it's talking about the modern day, so-called these scientists, are these physicists, the one that created the atomic bomb, and said that about the Lord gave them the mindset, to go in and to split the atom, and also, the ancient time they was called blacksmith, they created all sorts of weapons of war. So right now we're using it in a modern sense, whereby these smiths now are the scientists. We already know what happened after the war, World War II. A lot of those scientists was sent to America, you know what I'm saying? And they had them in their what you call this, had them to create different weapons of mass destruction. And also we knowing about that movie Oppenheimer, so he created the atomic bomb, what they call is the destroyer of worlds. But that about the Lord gave him that mindset to create those weapons of mass destruction, created the waster to destroy, those IBCM missiles. So they are the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So let's read it again. It's Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. It said, behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy those IBCM missiles. And that Smith is talking about those scientists, those physicists that, the one that split the atom, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. The Lord gave them that type of knowledge, not about it to create. One thing about it is that we already knowing that the Lord already said by fire this time. So we already knowing that this is the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So we are very close to these times, man. We are so very excited. So now, let's go here to today's video. And that video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Donald Trump has warned that America's monster nuclear weapons could be deployed as soon as tomorrow. The B-83 is the most powerful weapon in the United States nuclear arsenal, capable of unleashing destruction on a scale never seen before. With a payload 75 times more powerful than the nuke detonated over Hiroshima, everybody within 210 square miles of the detonation zone would be instantly killed, and millions more would die later of radiation-related illness.
We spend a lot of money on nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons. The level of destruction is beyond anything you can even imagine. It's just bad that everybody has to spend all this money on something that if it's used, it's probably the end of the world.
Wow. I don't know what to say to that.
You know, when I listen to these climate lunatics and they talk about global warming, and they say the ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch in the next 300 years, and and nobody ever talks about nuclear weapons or some of the other things, but the nuclear weapons in particular right now. And they talk about the climate, and they talk about the dangers of the climate, but they don't talk about the dangers of a nuclear weapon, which could happen tomorrow. They say in 300 years. I watched Biden for years say the existential threat. He loved the term existential threat. Our greatest existential threat is from the climate. And I said, no. The greatest is sitting in shelves in various countries called nuclear weapons that are big monsters that can blow your heads off for miles and miles and miles. And they never mention that.
One of the most powerful nuclear weapons in the world is the B-83 nuclear bomb, the heavyweight of the U.S. arsenal. Weighing about 2,400 pounds or 1,100 kilograms and stretching 12 feet or 3.7 meters in length with a diameter of 18 inches or 46 centimeters, it's roughly the size of a small car. But within this imposing frame lies a force of unimaginable destruction. Imagine a single one detonated as an airburst over Beijing, China. The immediate fireball would engulf an area over 4 square kilometers or 1.5 square miles, vaporizing everything within its radius. Buildings would collapse within a 7.5 kilometer or 4.6 mile radius due to the intense blast pressure, flattening much of the city center.
So we're seeing that we're very close to this thermonuclear exchange. Right now, you're seeing that Trump, he's constantly telling you that, they have these monster nukes that will blow your head off from miles and miles. So one thing about it, he's saying that his days are determined, and we already know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We know that he's getting ready to use his greatest sword, which in fact is the IBCM missile, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So now let's go here. Let's get a few more and we'll close out. Let's go here to Amos chapter 9 and verse 8. And it reads, said, behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, says the Lord. So we know about the sinful kingdom is what? America, Babylon the Great. And the eyes of the Lord are the what? Are the angels riding around them, what they ignorantly call what? UFOs or UAPs, because we constantly seeing them each and every day. They're making a presence known each and every day. The Lord is what? Is visiting the earth he's visiting the earth day what? He created. So, and also he says here, and we drop down a little bit more, he says that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, says the Lord. So we already know that we have, we already know the Lord is going to save the 1/3 of the house of Jacob, which in fact is the elect. And also we know that the 2/3 are going to be destroyed on this side. And one thing about it that we already know we're coming upon this time, it's fast approaching, and we are constantly warning you left and right. The Lord always bring his prophets. That's why we out here constantly warning. We getting ready for Passover. We getting ready, hopefully, this be our year of our great deliverance. But one thing about it, we're going to constantly persevere. We're going to keep pushing until the Lord bring the house down. Let's see here, Amos chapter 9, let's read it again. Amos chapter 9 and verse 8, it said, behold, the eyes of the Lord Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Says, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Jacob, says the Lord. So one thing about it, we already knowing that, the Lord is going to save the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, And one thing about it, that, we already know that we're in a transition of power. We know that we're at the end of an eon, an end of an age. This earth age is ending. This world, as we know it, is ending. This age, once again, so we can get an understanding. But the earth abides forever. And one thing about it, we already knowing right now that these things are right upon us. Where the war drums are beating. They're preparing for war left and right. So you can wake up one morning, a regular day, and all of a sudden, these things can come before you, right before your eyes. That's why we got to be always praying, always keeping our eyes on the prize, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So now, let's go to this one here. Let's get this other little example here. Zechariah. Let's go to Zechariah. Get a little example more how these IBCM missiles, the devastation, what they're going to bring. The destruction. How a lot of people, is going to be unalive. Let's go here to Zechariah. See here, Zechariah chapter 14. Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12 is describing the IBCM missile, the destruction, and also this they give a little better understanding. Go to that clip on Judgment Day when Sarah Connor, she was in a vision and she was holding on to a fence, and there was a nuclear exchange, and that destroying wind hit her and took all the off her bones. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is kind of, it give you another depiction of what's getting ready to happen. This nuclear exchange right here. It's kind of here. It's very vivid. It says here, Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12 said, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouths. So what would cause this to happen? A thermonuclear exchange. Those were IBCM missiles. When you seen in the first part, that's why I named the title of today's lesson, Nuclear Armageddon. So we already know once this happened here, this is going to end all wars. And one thing about it, we already know that, through much violence, this place is going to be totally destroyed, through much tribulation. Ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. So one thing about it, that, this is getting ready to come upon the earth. These missiles are getting ready to fly. So now, let's go here to Revelations. Let's go here to Revelations chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6, and we'll get one more. Revelation chapter 6. And Revelation chapter 6. And I think it's around Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13. Let's start around verse 13. It's 12 or 13 what I'm looking for. Let's start up at verse 13. Let's highlight it right quick. Salakia. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13 says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casted her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And everybody describing those IBCM missiles when they was pelving the earth, hitting their mark, and they're gonna cause all sorts of devastation. Let's read it once again. It said Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13 say, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, say, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And everybody, those stars, what they're talking about, that's like a metaphor for these IBCM missiles. They're getting ready to fly. These arrows are getting ready to be shot to the ends of the earth. And everybody, that is going to cause a lot of destruction, a lot of devastation. Verse 4, and also, it's no coming back from, what I'm saying? And one thing about it, there will be no inhabitant left here. This place is getting ready to be a lake of fire, America, Babylon the Great. Verse 14 said, and the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So this is describing that mushroom cloud. When that IBCM missile, that thermonuclear bomb exploded. You know what I'm saying? It caused this what John would describe. In ancient time, he described that this was a said when says it says here again, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of its place, describing a IBCM missile explodes, a mushroom cloud. So that's exactly what John was seeing when they was hitting, everywhere. And then it caused all this different devastation. It was every mountain and island was moved out of its place. So it caused all sorts of devastation. Some of these islands is going to be under the water. A lot of things are getting ready to happen, destruction that you had never seen before. Verse 15 says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens of the rocks of the mountain. And out about it, these global elites, these government officials, these military men, and so forth and so forth. They ran to the bunkers. But one thing about it, you can run, but you cannot hide from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to call all this chaos upon the earth. Then they're going to run to these mountain retreats, these underground retreats, all these underwater retreats, all these satellite, these space stations they have in the they say it's in the heavens, but one thing about the Lord said he will bring them down, wherever they go, the Lord will find them. So this is exactly what's getting ready to happen. That's where they're going to run to these bunkers, but this man is seeing that his days is determined. Even DJ Donald Trump, he's looking very nervous now. He's not really talking too much, that big talk that he was talking, couple of days ago, because he's seeing that this thing is getting very, very perilous. These things are coming upon us at a fast pace, but the Lord is only using him to bring forth these last and final prophecy right before his great and glorious return. And also our salvation is at the door. Let's read this once again. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 15 says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountain. So one thing about it is what they're going to do, when all this devastation go to happening. So it's already a lot of people fleeing through these bunkers now, these global elites, these 1%ers, are these international bankers, these government officials, these billionaires, these millionaires, these celebrities, these stars, all these going to run, Scat Cat, they're going to run. These military men, officials, all these people are going to retreat to these bunkers. Let's read in verse 16. It said, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Verse 17 said, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And one thing about it, if you're not part of the elect, you're not going to stand. You're going to be unalive. And one thing about it, that's what they're going to run to these bunkers. And one thing about it, when they see the Lord show up in that great fathership, they're going to be ready, to commit suicide, to kill us. What I'm saying? But one thing about it, they're in for a rude awakening. So this man is saying now, these nuclear monsters will blow your head off. But when the Lord returns, he going to do more than blow your head off. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, that we know that we're right upon this time. The Lord is getting ready to return. We're seeing that right now, things are getting very critical. So the Lord is gathering the nation for the controversy of Zion. So let's get one more. Let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 6. We'll start with verse 8. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. We'll close out here. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8. And let's start up a little bit further. Let's go here. Start up at verse 7. And we read down. And it reads, it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So that's symbolic that we're gonna bring him down with this wisdom, this knowledge, this gospel, the men of the Lord in the highways and byways. You know what I'm saying? Constantly chanting this place down. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much when you see the men of the Lord in the highways and byways, that's he already knowing that his end is right upon him. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is symbolic that we in the end time we will bring him down with this knowledge, this gospel. This gospel shall be preached, then shall the end come. So right now, you know what I'm saying, we right here, man. We're here. We're so very excited. Verse 9 said, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So one thing about it, he said that, that these monster nukes, were in the world, were in his world. You know what I'm saying? For Esau is the end of the world, this age, this eon, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So what follows next? The kingdom of heaven that dwells in Christ. That is what our final rest. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we are getting ready to, to put our feet upon their necks. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do what they have done to us. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to repay. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to give us power over the nation. The Lord is getting ready to give us what? Immortality. You're getting ready to live forever. Spiritual power. You know what I'm saying? Going into other worlds and galaxies. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, you know what I'm saying? In his Father's house, there are many mansions. So one thing about the Lord has already prepared the place for us. We already have gotten the victory. All we got to do is constantly what? Trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, and the Lord is going to do the rest. So now, the title of the day lesson, once again, is Nuclear Armageddon. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom. Shalom.